Welcome everyone to another Tracks on Sundays. I'm Trax to Max, and this is another Raid Shadow Legends video, guys. We're on the Only Voids account again. The series where we're only allowed to use Void champions, the sexiest of champions.
Don't look at me. Don't look at me. Don't look at me.
Last week, we looked into my Turvold over here, and I was telling you guys about possibly building a Ultra Nightmare clan boss team with this feller right here. Now, the build has slightly got an upgrade since last week. Not by much, but it got a little upgrade. I believe I didn't have the blessing yet, so we found ourselves a brimstone for him, which is really nice. We also found a blessing for our arbiter, so right now we're looking at, yeah, we don't really have much of this essence anymore, as you can see, but we got our two legendaries, a blessing, which is pretty neat. We did it. We actually did what I was trying to do, and that is Ultra Nightmare clan boss has been accomplished. Now, last week I was talking about a 3-key, possibly 4-key Ultra Nightmare. But ladies and gentlemen, let me show you this right here. We're not doing a 4 or a 3-key, but we are actually knocking out a 2-key Ultra Nightmare now, which has been so fantastic for us. We've been getting shards, we've been getting books. We're on a roll now. Our account has officially started from this point on. As you can see, I'm sitting on 9 void shards. To celebrate this whole thing, I'm going to pull one of these shards at the end of the video. You know, I have enough to build at the moment, but I still feel like a celebration is necessary for this because a 2-key Ultra Nightmare is huge. This has been allowing me to do a 2-key Ultra Nightmare and a 2-key Nightmare every day. Nightmare is actually pretty close to a 1-key, but we're still about somewhere between 4 and 5 million off of being able to do that. That said, we still have 9 hours to maybe switch some gear around on this guy, because as you can see, this is the clan boss Kafru that I'm using. His gear is barely even built here. And he's wearing lifesteal, 5 pieces even, because why not? So like, if you look at this guy's stats, he needs to be very slow, but we can definitely get more defense on him. We can definitely pump this up to 100% crit rate to get more damage. And I'm sure we can actually find some, you know, gear that's actually going to help us do more damage. Like maybe a toxic set, maybe even cruel or savage, you know, like they'll help a lot. Cruel obviously is only for the ignore defense part. The attack won't help us at all. But yeah, if we can find some savage, we don't have that much savage anymore, but it would help for sure. I'm actually also thinking about, where is it? Fury, but we don't have much of that either. So yeah, we're gonna have to see exactly what we can do. But I'm sure we can probably add a couple 100k points to whatever he's doing right now, because it's not a lot. Other than that, the Warcaster is kind of hard to do anything else than what we have him at, because we need 298 speed, 300 with our bonus here, right? So probably not much to do here. Maybe we could level this up and get an attack percentage extra. That'll give us a little bit more damage, you know. What else do we have going in the team? So Eurogrim is in there. Eurogrim is another one of those champions that I'm actually using in more places than just clan boss. So I do kind of want to keep him in this build, since this build can help him duo things like the Ice Golem and Dragon 20 and stuff like that. So there's probably not a lot of room for improvement on this guy. The other one would be Renegade, and she's being used in Fire Knight and Spider. Now, Spider, she doesn't need a shield set for, but for Fire Knight, it's pretty handy to have that shield set. But as you can see, we still can level this up to 16, might get crit rate on there. We can still level this up to 16, might get crit rate or attack percentage on there. And we still have this one as well, which could possibly roll like a flat attack, which, you know, that's not a lot of extra damage, but it's something. So I'm not sure how much more we can pinch out of this, but I think the most damage would probably be coming from this guy, because this guy can actually smack pretty hard. Obviously, the problem is he's only taking one turn in the whole comp, but still, right now, his gear is so bad that we could probably get at least 33% more damage or something out of him if we actually put some, you know, decent gear on him. Probably more like 50% more damage if we actually put him in Savage, but anyway. I will go over the run real quick since I have a key here, and I'll tell you what the difference is between Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare. One thing to note, though, is that this team, you might have noticed, does not have a cleanser or a block debuff. That means that on Spirit, we're just fudged. We can't do Spirit. I've looked for options. It messes with the whole tune. I think it would be possible if we had another Kafru, which had... let me see here. I think it would have needed no books in its A3 or something. So I'm not completely sure. Like either 5-turn cooldown or a 6-turn cooldown on its A3. That might have worked. But right now it doesn't work because once you start putting block buffs up, Kafru will get block buffs when the stun target happens, so his A3 won't be back on the 3rd turn when it's supposed to, but it'll be back earlier, so he's going to use it earlier. Kind of messes up the whole tune. Same goes with the cleansing. I tried cleansers. Nothing seemed to work really. So for now, this is just what we have to deal with. Spirit, we're fudged. It's just the way it is. Nothing to do about it. And we try again the next day. But, you know, it's not that big of a deal. We're hitting Ultra Nightmare. We're hitting Nightmare. We're getting a lot of chests that we weren't getting a week ago, right? So first we're going to go into the team setup here. And I'll show you the teams that I've been using for this whole thing. So I have an Ultra Nightmare team, I have a Nightmare team, and then I have this team right here that pretty much is my only answer right now to deal with a Spirit affinity. As you can see, this is not an unkillable, but this does fairly nicely do a 2-key Nightmare right now. I've seen like 23 million, 25 million. So if it goes to Spirit on Nightmare, I'm fine. If it goes to Spirit on Ultra Nightmare, I'm not so fine. I probably need like 2 keys with this team, and hopefully I got 1 key in with this team. Yeah, it's kind of sketchy, you know, but for Nightmare, we're fine. We can use this team to do about 35 million. We can use this team to do about 23, 25 million. So that's all Gucci. Now, what's the difference between this Ultra Nightmare team and this Nightmare team? Well, there's one huge difference, actually. And I wish this wasn't the case, but I just couldn't get it to work otherwise. The Ultra Nightmare team allows Turvold to use A2. The Nightmare team does not. So that means that the Nightmare team is losing out on quite some damage that Turvold should have been doing with this A3, well, A1 and A3 actually, that he is allowed to use on the Ultra Nightmare team. Something to note about the Ultra Nightmare team, though, is what we are not allowed to do is prioritize his A2. Why is that? Well, the problem is because we have a Renegade on our team, this Ancestor's Power comes back too many times, basically. And this puts up an increased speed buff and throws this guy out of tune. So we have to prioritize Juggernaut, which I'm pretty sure is an issue for our damage a little bit. I mean, he still smacks, don't get me wrong. He's doing a lot of damage. But it could have been more if we actually were allowed to use Ancestor's Power whenever, right? But this way I was able to get it in tune and keep it on a full auto. So we have Eurogrim at 225, not allowed to use the A2, prioritize the A3. Kafru not using A2, start with the A1, prioritize A3. 122, very slow speed. Warcaster is our fastest one, hardest to build, I guess, because that's 300 speed right there that you see. As you can see, I had to drop most of the other stats. He does have a little bit of accuracy, which can be handy if you're up against an affinity, because his A1 has a chance of stealing random buffs from the target, so he has a chance of stealing the attack buff that the Demon Lord puts up sometimes. Not much, but it's a little bit of extra damage that can possibly help. Turvold here is at 230 speed. I talked about that last week. As you can see, I have 110 crit rate. Obviously, that would be better to be 100 crit rate so that we can put more into the crit damage and the attack, but it is what it is right now. He's in Savage. He has 240 accuracy. He has an okay-ish attack, which he adds 50% to with his own A2. So, I mean, he's doing some numbers. Renegade, we're not allowed to use the A2, and we start with the A1, and we prioritize the A3. Speed, 228. The rest, whatever we can get. If we wanted to fully max this out, I'm pretty sure we could possibly get a 1 key nightmare going with this team. But the fact that I'm, like using this guy somewhere else, pretty early game, so I'm already happy just to be able to get 300 speed on my Warcaster without touching my Arbiter. And then Renegade, using her in different areas of the game as well. I could also possibly just build another Renegade and then have that Renegade be a damage build. That's another possibility, but I just haven't done that yet. But they are options for the future if for some reason we run out of things to build, which right now is really not the case. Okay, so. But yeah, that's the team. So I'm going to go over to the Nightmare one real quick. The only other difference here is we have his A2 turned off and we're prioritizing the A3. Other than that, same thing. No A2, prioritize this, start with this. Renegade, don't use this. Prioritize this, start with this. All the same. So this, what are we on? We are on Ultra Nightmare. All right. I already did my 2 keys here, so I guess I'll just do Nightmare now. Yeah, let's just do the Nightmare run with our Nightmare team. There you go. Start on auto, and we can sit here and then enjoy how these dudes will do this for us. I gotta say, it took me a while to figure out that I had to actually prioritize Turvold's A3. Took me way longer than it should have. I'll put it that way. But yeah, that's the way it goes sometimes. You're just puzzling until it works, and yeah, finally it did. Now you might be thinking to yourself, Trax, you're such a genius. Wow, how did you come up with this? Well, actually, I can only take a little part of the credit on this whole thing. I have to thank Cafe Fall 5938 again. Basically what he did was explain to me how to use the speed calculator of Yannick. If you don't know who Yannick is, it's a friend of Bronco, a very smart guy who built a speed calculator that can help you build teams for dungeons, anything in the game really, where you need a specific effect to happen on a specific turn. You can figure out the speeds, or, well, better, the speed calculator will figure out the speeds that you need to achieve these things, right? So in my case, for instance, that would be Warcaster putting up a block damage on the first turn and on the second turn. Third turn, having Kafru put up this taunt buff, right? And the unkillable. Like, those are the things that need to happen in this team. That's what the speed calculator found for us. What speeds we have to use to be able to do this. Now, Turvold, though, we knew he'd had to be 230, but I couldn't really find the way to add him without turning off his A2 like I have to do on Nightmare. Eventually I found then that I had to prioritize the A3. It makes sense, right? Because, like, if Renegade is resetting his skills all the time, that means he's just going to A2, A3, A2, A3, A2, A3. So he's going to have that speed buff up all the time, right? And he just runs himself out of the sync. Now, though, having a speed buff once in a while keeps him where it's supposed to be. Again, this is Nightmare right now, so you can notice that he's not putting it up whatsoever. It is what it is. I can't get that to work on Nightmare just yet, so that's unfortunate. But the fortunate thing here is that he smacks hard nevertheless, if he has the attack buff or not, and he has a Brimstone chance as well, which does a lot of damage. Look here, 250k, boom. But yeah, as you can see, they're just doing their thing. It's remaining unkillable, just like the team we had previously, but now there's just a big hitter in there. So we'll just let this run for now, and I'll come back when the whole run is over, and we can talk about it. So I just wanted to pick up right here real quick. I put it on a pause for a second. As you can see here, Kafru has a very low HP bar. So that's why I was thinking that perhaps a, what's it called? It's not Frenzy, it's the other one that he does more damage if he has lower HP or something like that, right? That could be okay here, right? So as you can see, that did 40k damage. So if we can up that to like 80k or 100k or something, you know, that might actually add up quite a bit of damage. And then also make sure that he's always critting and not just that one time, because I believe he doesn't have that high of a crit rate on him. So yeah, that's just basically what I wanted to show. Now, not sure how much we're going to make here. Looks like it's going to be closer to about 33 million or so. 34 perhaps. We do lose accuracy on Magic Affinity because, well, that's what he does. He puts up the decreased accuracy here. So it's possible that we're missing some debuffs because of that. That'll get better in time once I get my Great Hall to level 10. I believe my accuracy is at 8 now, so shouldn't be too long before we get that. And I think once we have that, then we're pretty much good there. And if not, we can still add some accuracy in the live arena side of things, right? Now, another thing we could change about this team, but I'm not sure how doable that's going to be, is we could move out our Eurogrim and add in Kemptum. However, the problem with the Kemptum is he does not bring a 20% speed lead, but only a 18% speed lead. Now, you might think to yourself, that's not that much of a difference, but it actually is quite a difference when we're talking about 300 speed. Oh, there you go, 35. So you can see here, if that guy would have had his attack up, we would have had a 1-key Nightmare, which is pretty insane. But still, they're putting up some good numbers. Putting he's putting up less than he should, obviously. He's even putting up less than Eurogrim is right now. On Ultra Nightmare, you see him doing more damage than Eurogrim, though. So, yeah, that's the team, and he has been phenomenal for us. Not only here in Clan Boss, but also in things such as Arena. I don't know if Live Arena is open. I guess it just opened right now, so we could go ahead and take a look there real quick, I guess, if you guys are interested in seeing that. Take a quick look here, what we got going on. Ooh, 5-star chicken. I will definitely take that. Before I go into Live Arena, let me show you actually that we've also been leveling up. So we 6-starred our Skrank. We 5-starred Ursula. Well, that's not what I wanted to do. We 5-starred Akemtum. So we got some gear on him, slapped some gear on him. And I guess that's about it. We did level this guy up to 50. But yeah, that's about it. So we 6-starred. We did level up some champions. So 6-star him, 5-star her, 5-star him. Yeah, it's coming along. Let's hop into one battle real quick here, Live Arena. I don't know if anyone wants to see this or not. I could also actually show you guys this. We've been working on several things, just filling in some things where we can. We did max out this. Can't go any higher until we reach gold. So we're doing the most increase or ignore defense possible on Demon Lord. Okay, let's hop in here real quick. See what happens. Right, I think we're against a Finnish player here. So the team I use is Arbiter, Turvold, Skullcrown, Rodma, and Basher. Most of the time. Now, if I lose with that team and I face another and I face the same champion or the same player again, sometimes I'll switch it up then, right? Sometimes I'll bring like a Warcaster to maybe cheese like block damage or something, or a Seducer for block debuffs or something. It depends, really. Let's see what they are cooking here. This is pretty hard who I should ban. I think it's Arbiter, but I think we still just lose because, well, they still have this, and this guy is going to strip us. Well, they're both. These are all going to strip us and annoy us. They're going to CC us to death. They're going to strip us, and this guy is just going to smack us, right? And if I would ban this guy, oh wait, we're actually faster. Holy cow! All right, well then there's a chance. Then there's a chance. I can get. Well, that's not good. But okay, who do we want to get rid of? Uh, ooh. Okay. No. Well, it was a 50-50 shot for the fear, right? But that actually went better than I expected. I didn't expect to be faster than this Karimar. Come on. Come on now, dude. All right. We'll do one more because these games are pretty fast, right? So it doesn't matter that much. But that's the general idea of the arena. Right. I'm thinking, should I have knocked out a different... Is this a bot? Did I lose 3 in a row? It's possible I lost 3 in a row. I'm not sure. But this feels like a bot. Yeah, okay. This is a bot. Sorry, guys. I'll cut this out and we'll continue after. And we're back. Yeah, apparently that was a bot. Apparently I did lose 3 in a row before that. Or 2 in a row before that one loss, at least. I want to go here and show you guys the masteries real quick that I'm using. On him, I'm not using War Master, but I'm using Helm Smasher. I think it just makes more sense with the damage that he's doing. He has Helm Smasher. Also just for like arena and stuff, right? Let's see here. War Caster is just going down to War Master. Same here, War Master. We do have this, but this doesn't really matter that much. Here, we went down to the War Master. We do have Whirlwind of Death. This is for when we were doing things like Ice Golem or Dragon or stuff that we can get some extra speed. Do have Laura Steel. Master Hacks are here to try and increase the duration of the poisons that we put up, right? So that's pretty handy. I'm not sure what I would put in the other one. Probably get this, right? Because I think his A1 is, yeah, like what is that? 30, 35, 45%. So I guess we should probably get his masteries done and get this last one in too so that he has some more poisons. Anyway, this is his build right now. This is her build. Also just going down to War Master. And that's it, basically. Now, again, upgrades would be probably go Akemptum, but I just literally started building him. No masteries yet. I don't think he has any books. Maybe one book in his A2, I guess, right here, but still needs quite a lot. But for now, like, the team's working. 2 Key Nightmare, or Ultra Nightmare, is pretty decent, and I'm super happy and stoked about this. We're finally kicking off the account. We're finally farming shards. I've gotten sacreds this week. I've gotten voids this week. A bunch of ancients, books. Fantastic, dude. It's great, and for that reason only, we're gonna pop 1 shard here. It's probably just gonna be another Rage Monger or something like that. Let's be honest, but hey, we'll take anything. This is very good for the account. And it's even worse. It's a Draconis. All right. Anyway, thank you so much all for joining me today. If there's anything you want to remark about my team or have any tips for things I could do differently, I'm always happy to hear them. Anything else that you want to talk about specifically, maybe you're doing the Void Challenge as well and you'd like some help, you can always join our Discord as well. We have a couple of people in there talking about teams and whatnot. Today I even built someone a Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss team for them as well. So well, I didn't build them, I gave them the idea what they can do. Anyways, hope you guys have a nice rest of your week and catch you guys next week. Peace.